Hello, I'm Mike of Nearly Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Before we do much of anything, a couple of bits of housekeeping. I've got the altimetry scan of Eve done. Actually had that done a while back. Main bit of interest here. The boys and girls at R&D are very grateful for your work and look forward to sifting through all of the data over a bottle of 3 of Kerban's finest Canar, which I thought that was the favoured drink of Cardassians from Star Trek. So that says some interesting things about Kerbals. So there you go. That's that. That's that one, I think, isn't it? So we can bring up what the current state of Eve is. Basically, I've pretty much got that, I think. Yeah, that's the altimetry thing of Eve. Do I get to make a big map? I think this is as big as I get on space center mode, I guess I should call this. Not map mode, and it's not ship mode. It's space center mode. So there you go. That's the map of Eve. So I've done that, so that's kind of cool. Gilly I've also done, but Gilly is much less interesting. In fact, you can almost it's just more of it's kind of a smudge. If I go to slope, there's you can't see any slope data really. You know, maybe there's a bit of a thing there. No, can't really see anything. It's kind of interesting. So that's that. So I've done that. Science. I've got 1,491 science. So I can get. I now have 3. I've only got 3 things left to get, which is, and they're all 1,000 science. So there's aerospace tech, much of which I don't think I really care about. I mean, the Rapier engine is supposed to be really good for all sorts of things. I think it's got a good thrust in atmosphere and a good thrust in vacuum, and a reasonable ISP in thrust in vacuum and stuff. And you can switch to air breathing and just pure rocket mode. So that's kind of a cool thing. Probably the big thing I'm going to want is that big S space plane tail fin, which sounds like a bit weird because I'm not going to be making space planes. I don't seem to be able to make good space planes. But I like using tail fins for rocket fins. So make a really big rocket, a really big tail fin is quite good. Large probes, that just gives me another probe. I've already got probe cores that. So this does SAS, stability assist, prograde retrograde, radial, normal, maneuver, and target. So I've already got that, which is nice. But this is big, I guess. So I think the point is that this is the size of core you put in a Rockomax style engine. But the last one is this one here, which is the one I'm going to go for right now. So I've got a large holding tank. And so that holds a lot of ore, which is what I want because I need to do some ore contracts. And it gives me a narrowband scanner, which is another scanner which I can use for scan resource stuff. So there you go. So I'm going to grab that. Whoop. And so I'm only 2,000 science away from getting the last 2 and just having maxed out the tech tree. At which point I go into the admin building and I set up a thing that converts 100% of science into funds, and then I just make money forever. The other thing I need to look at is my contracts, because there's a lot of really rather dull. There's a lot of contracts I no longer find interesting. Ooh, what's the Ike 6 void? Oh, that's madness. Fly by Moho, fly by Ike, fly by Duna, fly by the Mun, fly by Minmus, fly by Eve. With a single vessel. Oh, that's madness. At least I'd have 185 years to do that one. Wow, that's 2 million Kerbal bucks. Yeah. How long have I got? I've got 9 days to decide, so I'm probably not going to do it. If I don't choose it right now, I'm not going to do it. So I've got a bunch of active contracts, but I'm really only interested in ScanSat and anomaly contracts at the minute. So my original thought, and I did this on a game which I immediately reverted. So I just got rid of everything. Like, no, don't give me tourist contracts. I just got rid of all the stock contracts. I think, with the exception of World Force contracts, Record Track, I think was another one. But I just got rid of everything else. At which point, I discovered to my horror that what that does is this is Contract Configurator, which is a mod, by the way. So I use Contract Configurator. I discovered that. Whoop, I didn't want that. Well, I discovered that what that does is that then deletes all the contracts you currently have, which is not really what I wanted. I only wanted to change the contracts that come up. So I have all these contracts, but I don't want to actually get rid of those. I want to, I want to do them, and then when new contracts come up, I only want anomaly and scans and stuff like that. So it's probably about time I start thinking about just going through or getting all these contracts. But first, well, actually, this has a simultaneous thing of, meanwhile, that thing I was doing up until now, which is getting everything from Eve to Gilly, so I can start doing Gilly stuff. Is that still not falling out of the sky? Well, that's interesting. I wonder if this is going to be sorry, that's just a piece of debris that it's actually going through the atmosphere. But I think because I'm not actually going to the craft, you'd be expecting the apoapsis to be coming down because it's aerobraking. But I think because it's on rails, it's not doing that. Anyway, that's not what's going on now. No. I'm looking at Gilly landers. I've got 2 landers set up around Gilly, and we'll go to Gilly lander 1. And first off, it's always good to get the science. I want to get more science. Ta-da-da. But the other neat thing is that look at that thing. That's just a big lumpy potato. The other thing that landing this on Gilly is going to do is that it is going to get me a contract. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab that. Yeah, I don't. Gilly is so tiny. Right, what's that? So, like 4 meters per second, and I'm going from a fairly big circular orbit to like skimming the surface. Yeah, so this is what I want to do next. I want to land on Gilly. How am I doing for electric power? Oh, let's point towards the sun, shall we? What am I pointed to? Where is the sun? The sun is there. Oh, and I'm pointed exactly away from it. Why am I not surprised? There we go, look at that. That's what we want. So, let's get to it. So with Gilly's tiny gravity, it might be somewhat hard to land on it. It is often said that you don't land on Gilly, you dock with Gilly, which is kind of interesting. Okay, we're drifting away from pointing directly at the sun, but we're okay for the moment. And I can't fast forward faster. I would like to fast forward a bit faster than I am, but Gilly's quite tough for that. Gilly is actually quite strict in where you can how fast you can go, how fast you can time warp at various heights. Oh, that's not what I want at all. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have to adjust things slightly. Well, what I think I'm going to have to do is just go in at not even thrusting full, definitely not hitting the Z key, just using the shift and control keys to gradually lower my descent. So I almost don't need the maneuver node at all. All right. Coming down. The other problem is it's going to take forever to get around there because yeah, it's going to take an hour game time to get there. Let's focus on Gilly for a second. Right, I think that is good. Right, I'm going to go with that. I think that's really about as far as I'm going to be able to get. Maybe. Because I don't want to actually ram it. Right, so let's get rid of that. Warp there. Now, I'm still not going to be able to warp that fast. I can only warp to about 100 times, and it's going to come down and down and down and down. Well, just a slightly exciting thing is that I've been given the option to do a couple of experiments, so an atmospheric pressure scan and a probe report. So I'm not going to transmit those right now. Going to keep those. I mean, I'll probably have enough electric charge, probably okay, but just in case, kind of thing. Yeah, I've still got ages to go, so there you go. Okay. Although the map shows that I'm quite far away, I don't feel quite as far away as the map says I am. I don't think I'm going to make it over that lump. So I'm only 600 odd meters. Hard to tell because that's in the way. 600 odd meters above the train. Now, obviously, I've got an orbit of 24.7 meters per second, so that's only going to be, that's as much delta V as I need, which is apparently about 3 seconds. I looked this up. I'm not convinced I'm going to make it over that lump. So, Yeah, I mean, I look like I'm a huge distance away and I'll miss it, but I am not convinced. Maybe I will. One of the things I want to do is I want to avoid a long period drifting down because it's going to take so long. Over the Highlands, just maybe. Playing chicken at this point with a whole planet. My vertical speed is, in fact, I'm going down less fast at this precise point, but that could change very rapidly as I approach this big lumpy bit. So not sure. Feeling slightly more confident now. Just gonna really good. I'm gonna see if I can. This is Planet Shine. I'm just gonna up the ambient intensity a little bit so you can. It's easier to see the craft. Planet Shine is doing things like shining light from the surface of Gilly onto my craft here. Yeah, very slow. Everything's happening very slowly. And even though, I mean, the thing is, even though Gilly is very tiny, it's still made of rock, so, you know, bad things can happen as I misjudge things. So you can see my vertical speed is just reducing more and more and more. But I really think that is going to change very rapidly. See, the map view makes me look much further away than I think I really am. I mean, it's hard to tell. Really. All right, no, we're stopping now. Okay. Right, I overdid that. In fact, can I, which way do I want to go? I want to start blowing that up to the top, so. Okay, so I've not got rid of as much of my velocity as I would like. My sideways velocity, I mean. It's really only 3 meters a second, but it's kind of, no, hang on. So where, right, that control panel, that's front ways. That's, so I want to point that like this, I think. And that is killing my. Oh, that was killing my horizontal, but that was actually, it was also. I want to go to surf. That's what I want to do. I want to go to surface. I was in orbit mode. I wanted to be in surface mode. That explains a great deal. There we go. That's doing what I want. There's my shadow. And my touchdown speed is just tiny, so I think I'm fine. Main problem, of course, is that I'm going to be on a very big slope. So I actually want to touch down really gently and there we go. Because if I touch down too fast, there's a very good chance that I'll bounce. Okay, so I'm actually, this is hilarious. This is using the SAS to hold me up. If I turn that off, I'm going to very gradually drop down, but I think I might be stuck in the ground now. No, looks like I'm going to gradually... There you go. Am I falling completely over? So just using the SAS from time to time just to keep myself from bouncing around, because actually I bounce. That's one of the weird things. So let's grab that probe report. So that's another. Let's just transmit that. I've got enough electricity use now. I'll grab the seismic scan. Gilly seems to be seismically as dead as a doorknob. Let's chuck the SAS back on. Okay, so let's start transmitting things. So that's the one I did that from space. So that's 48 science from that. So I'm going to be able to get another 54 science. We're going to wait for the electricity to come up. Okay, so really I kind of wanted to be very much less on the slopey area. This slope's been a bit of a problem. But never mind, I am on the surface. It's all good. It's really just going to be an issue of, I wonder if I should, so I've got a fair amount of delta V left. Do I want to go down slope a bit? Because at the moment, if I turn off the SAS, I'm not sure how stable I am. If I'm stable, I don't care. Kind of sinking into the ground, but otherwise stable. That's good. So now I should be able to, because I think I've got a few things. I should have waited till my see, it's got a problem. It's continually sinking into the ground, and I can't turn on the SAS to stop that. So there you go. So, but I have landed. That's the main thing. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of things here. What have I got? Explore Gilly, land on Gilly, complete 90,000 Kerbal bucks. Ooh, that's looking bad. Transmit and recover 45,000. Explore Gilly, you've successfully explored Gilly. So that's a contract out the way, and a fair amount of Kerbal bucks gone into my account. So I'm now on 4 million, for nearly 4.5 million Kerbal bucks. That's pretty sweet, actually. But anyway, so I've got experiments to do. I've got science to do. I've got another land to land, hopefully in a different biome. But that's going to be next time. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the videos. Find Neil Dice at neildice.com, and we're also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach for the stars.